could you do this to me, Layla? I'm your brother, your own flesh and blood. And you make a call like that?
Come on, Leo. My job as the referee is to enforce the rules and make calls as I see them. It's a bummer your team ended up losing, but it's pretty black and white.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, but nothing. I think I need to bring in some reinforcements to help me prove my point. Who can we visit in the past who knows a lot about fairness?
Wow! It looks like we're in a courthouse.
I see a judge up there. He'll definitely know a thing or two about fairness.
Well, hello there, children. What brings you to the Supreme Court's chambers here at the United States Capitol?
Layla, the app took us all the way to the Supreme Court. This is the coolest day ever.
Yeah, but try to play it cool. Sorry to interrupt your work, sir. My name's Layla, and this is my little brother, Leo. We've traveled from the future to learn about fairness.
Well, then you've come to the right place. My name is Justice John Marshall, 4th Chief Justice of the United States.
It's really nice to meet you, sir. Hey, Justice Marshall, I've been dying to try out some of my new courtroom jokes. Like, what did the judge say to the dentist?
What?
Do you swear to pull the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth?
That's a good one. What about this one? What did the judge say when the skunk walked into the courtroom?
What?
Odor in the court.
That's really funny.
All right, Leo. Now that you've hopefully gotten that out of your system, let's get back to what we came here for. Justice Marshall, I heard you say you were Chief Justice. What's that?
That's a great question, Layla. A Chief Justice is the highest-ranking judge in America. There are 7 of us, and I am the lead judge who presides over the court.
Not only did we arrive at the Supreme Court, but we're hanging out with the head honcho. This is a really big deal.
It's funny you should say that, Leo, because the Supreme Court wasn't always such a big deal.
It wasn't? How come?
When the country was first founded, it wasn't exactly clear what the powers of the Supreme Court would be. This meant it wasn't as powerful of a branch of government in comparison to the executive branch, led by the president, and the legislative branch, made up of Congress.
When did that change?
Well, it took a little while since the country and our Constitution were so new. But as the Chief Justice, I worked hard to make the Supreme Court a governing body equal to the other 2 branches that would settle disputes in a neutral way.
You mean kinda like how a referee should be neutral in a sports game?
Absolutely. That's a perfect example.
Great.
See, Justice Marshall, I was refereeing Leo's soccer game, and he got mad at me for making a call that was completely in the rulebook, but caused his team to lose.
And I'm still mad. You could have just helped me and my team out just this once. Isn't that right, dear, precious, wonderful sister?
Leo, you have the makings of a very persuasive lawyer. But the problem with helping out is, where does it stop?
What do you mean?
A judge's job is not to do what is popular or what will make people happy. In my case, my job is to make well-thought-out decisions that are in alignment with the Constitution. Nothing more, nothing less. That is why we justices are appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate to serve the court for the rest of our lives, or at least until we retire.
That's a really long time to have a job. But why are justices appointed and not elected?
The court was designed that way so outside political pressures would not influence our decision-making.
I see. Wouldn't that be like me making a bad call on the soccer field to help Leo just because he's my brother?
Precisely. And as you can imagine, not following the rules as they are written is not fair.
You're right.
One of my earliest cases, Marbury versus Madison, dealt with that very issue. It was the first case where the court and I declared a law passed by Congress to be unconstitutional, or going against what it states in the Constitution.
How is it even possible for Congress to pass a law that's unconstitutional?
It mainly has to do with how people interpret the laws. It is emphatically the duty of the judicial department to say what the law is. Some legislators try to bend the laws to serve their interests, which, as you can imagine, is not true justice.
You see, Leo, I could have bent the rules to help your team win this time around, but that would have been wrong.
I know. Plus, if I had been on the other team, I would have been super upset if you made a bogus call. I get that things need to run smoothly and fairly.
Exactly. And that was my goal for the federal government as well as the Supreme Court. I always try to rule as fairly as possible when judging about a law, especially the Constitution. Every law has a meaning, and it's important that judges rule based on what that meaning is. My fellow founding fathers believe that the meaning of the laws mattered.
Did you actually know the founding fathers?
I sure did. I spent time fighting in the Revolutionary War right alongside my personal hero, President George Washington. And President John Adams was the one who appointed me as Chief Justice in 1801. The three of us were very aligned in the direction we wanted the country to go.
I'll bet when everyone believes the same things, that makes life a lot easier. What happens when that's not the case?
It makes things a little stickier. That very thing happened with President Thomas Jefferson, who also happened to be my second cousin. We disagreed on so many things. Then he and the presidents who followed appointed judges who also had different views than me.
Oof.
Oof is right. But at the end of the day, under my leadership, it is my job to reach a consensus. It's not always easy, but being a good judge means making decisions that are fair, no matter who you might upset in the process.
So, Justice Marshall, are you saying that I made the right decision during Leo's game?
Indeed I am, Layla. But don't fret, young Leo. Both sides need to understand their responsibilities.
What do you mean?
The referee or the judge should be respected for ruling fairly on the game or case. But what Layla and I need to understand as well is the tremendous responsibility we both have. We would be doing a huge disservice if we interpreted the rules to favor one group over the other, while completely disregarding the rule book.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, I might not like that I lost, but I agree. Thank you for reminding me that Layla didn't make me lose on purpose. She was just enforcing the rules, like a good ref should.
My pleasure, Leo. You're lucky to have such an honest and fair sister like Layla.
Aw, thanks, Justice Marshall. Bye. Leo, I hope you're not mad at me because your team lost again. I had to make that call.
I'm not mad at you, Layla. Justice Marshall reminded me how important your job as a referee is, just like a Supreme Court justice's job is too.
That's right. Judges and referees need to be fair and to follow the rules as they are, without any funny business.
Speaking of funny business, who can I talk to about making an appeal?
Oh, Leo.
If you like time traveling with Leo and Layla, watch more of their adventures at PragerUkids.com. And parents, don't forget to subscribe.